Hello, everybody, and welcome to the after church tea time where we are discussing about today's sermon about divine beauty.
Mhm.
So, let us begin. So, who would like to go first? It was like the perfect like sermon, I believe, for Valentine's Day. Everybody
Mm.
is going deeper in their divine beauty, divinely romancing themselves today by just learning what divine beauty is from the unionist perspective. And yeah, would anybody want to like share what they got from like the sermon today, from the service itself?
Yeah, I think the core of what was like shared today was that divine beauty is within, right? Because that's where we are, that's who we are at the core. Our essence is within us. And our external reality, which we like know through the mirror exercise and through everything that we do, is just a representation and expression of that within. And so, like, we're all just here kind of exploring what that looks like for each of us. And in choosing to be your authentic self and being your authentic self and exploring that, that's where your beauty lives. And I feel like really like that's just amazing as somebody who spent many years of my life exploring beauty as not myself, as what society would determine is beautiful for a female body, and explored that. It never felt good, and it always like I always felt like some people would say, oh, that's beautiful, some people would say no, and I would worry about what other people thought about me and things like that. And it hasn't been until recently where I've really come into my authentic self and really explored being who I am and exploring my divine masculinity. Have I really like felt the beauty within myself for the first time without needing validation from someone else. And I think that like that's like really beautiful about this journey, that you can go and go down that path of discovering yourself, and getting to know yourself at that level, loving yourself there.
That's pretty much what I was having to say
What
about
else?
it. It's like getting to know yourself deeper. Because like even exploring with makeup, like I remember like when I would like first do it, I was like, oh yeah, like that looks great. And I look back and I'm like, I've improved a lot. You know what I mean? Like
right though, like it's a deepening, right? You're getting to know yourself more and more. And I love that like there's a core reason for every person's beauty, because in truth, like we're not like made to be sexualized or sharing sexual energy with anyone but our twin flame. So that attraction that we feel is kind of sometimes one, the leaking of our own sexual energy, or two, it's like feeling like there's something outside of ourselves that we're searching for, and it's something like basically exploring what we want and desire within ourselves but seeing it on the outside, right? And so yeah, I think it's really interesting, like that there's a core reason for your beauty. I never really thought about that until Jeff and Shaleia talked about it. And I actually got a reading from Jose and Michaela way back when, right before I found out like that Stasia was my twin flame. It was interesting. It was like the day of. And mine is actually success. And then I said, which one's yours again? I don't remember. Transformation. Yeah. And so it was like, and I realized like when Michaela was talking about that today in the sermon, around like how she started to look at her wardrobe and said, well, how does that represent passion? How does that get me to go deeper into passion? And I thought about that today, and I was thinking that, well, I think it's interesting that I'm wearing the shirt that I'm wearing, because I've been wearing a lot of very like not hipster, like I guess kind of hipster or like R&B kind of clothing.
R&B.
I don't know, like just like silly urban style, I guess. And like I'm wearing very like business professional, and I feel so much more myself. And so like when she said that, I was like, that's interesting. she mentioned the Pinterest board and like just going deeper and discovering like what is it that is your style, that is your beauty. I really thought that was beautiful, and I really loved that Jose talked about from the masculine perspective, and wow, maybe you have some insights here too. Like I love that he was like, I always thought that the man was just like, I don't really care about what I look like and, whatever. And I thought that was the masculine too. Like when I first came into, exploring my masculinity, I was like, oh, I'm just not going to care about anything. I'm just going to wear sweatshirts and sweatpants and stuff. And that didn't feel good. And, now we do like skincare routine stuff and, I get my hair done or whatever. And,
and like I got Ray these, foot peeling thingies. I don't know.
For Valentine's Day.
I asked the lady to show me where they were. And I was like, oh yeah, like my boyfriend wants these, and she's like, oh, like he takes care of himself.
But it is. There is this I think that there's this thought in the world that like men aren't supposed to have that kind of beauty, like have beauty, right? And it's something that they have to seek from the feminine. And it's not something that they can have for themselves. And perhaps there's something to that. And, I just realized the more I feel beautiful within myself, the more that I recognize my own handsomeness and things like that, and just being myself, the more I attract my twin flame to me to have that experience, right? And so it's the same for the divine masculine, right? It's not feminine or girly to take care of yourself, to care about your clothing or your style or express yourself.
Beauty.
Yeah, and exploring your divine beauty. This is a topic for all people, not just the feminine.
Yeah, I wanted to just address that since you asked me as well about. I feel like it's not about. There is this perception of men don't caring, but actually, I feel like it's more like what Jeff spoke about how men are. They just don't care about what others think about them, so they're just going to do whatever they want. So when you came into first year masculinity, you thought that was the intention, but it's just a misunderstanding of what actually means, because as men, we like to take care of ourselves. It's actually not nice to not take care of yourself. It's just depends on how you feel to do that, and that's up to your relationship with your body. And it's just about not really caring so much about how everyone else sees you, rather than just doing whatever you want. To give an example for me, something that really was a challenge towards my divine beauty to achieve, something more physical, like my beard. First, when I started to grow my beard, guess what? Everyone around me was like, I'm just going to cut your beard down, just get it off. It looks bad on you. It's just I was just starting it, when you start growing a beard, it's just it takes time. And it's something that I really desire from routine. It's not something that, I just want outside, I don't know, for other reasons. It's just,
I think you should mention that at first you didn't have the capabilities to grow a beard. For example, when I first met him, he didn't have, the hair. I think some men are gifted with more hair or less hair. It depends, but you can I think you have discovered how to train yourself here.
There's a special way. There's more something that I follow. I took care of my skin in order to have the beard that I have right now. Because before I had open spots everywhere, and kind of something that I did here, since you guided me to share now. It's more when you shave your beard with a blade, that's when it will grow even more, and it will induce more hair growth in that area. So therefore I kept let it sit for 6 months, and then I cut it off all, and then I let again, and then I cut it off all again, and then it already started to be much more complete. But it was a process, because it is a spiritual process of us starting and not caring about anyone else what they say. Even if when you look into the mirror and doesn't look yet perfect, doesn't mean it's not actually good, because it's a healing process. First of all, it's an inner process, and it was a very healing process for me, just to accept however I was looking, because I knew what I was moving towards. So as a man, I was just like, okay, I know what I want. I know everybody else is kind of like against me and wants to cut off my beard no matter what. But I'm just gonna go with whatever feels good to me. And I think that's another way of divine masculine expressing their beauty, just fully following their desire. No, me fully following my desire. It's a way that I express my beauty as well, not necessarily the beard. The beard is just an external factor that of how I love as well to show my beauty. But there's so many more aspects as about the inner, about how I express myself and how I do things in day-to-day living even.
Yeah, I really I love what you were sharing about that. And it's interesting because you know, I live with Jeff and Shaleia, and I was one day I was just like in my typical dude outfit, you know, whatever, and I was upstairs and had my hat on or whatever, and Jeff just like paused in the middle of a conversation. He just looked at me and he was just like staring at me, and I'm like, oh my god, what is he staring at? And he's like, I mean, no offense to this, but how could anyone not see that you're a man? And
Well, he asked if you were on
he
T.
asked if I was on T, right? And I was just like, no, I'm not on T yet. And he was like, I don't see how anyone could see that you're not a man. And because like I just like, you know, I had naturally started to already like develop in so many areas of like being a dude. Like I have like a beard slash, you know, mustache that comes through a little bit, you know, and I can resonate with what you're saying. I'm going to be probably starting that process soon too. And like, you know, it's interesting. Like, I think you're onto something here. Like the masculine really is like, you know, holding space in this like being safe to explore, and to like find what feels good for you. And I will say this too, and I believe Jeff or Shirley even said this, like the feminine holds the vision in a lot of ways. Stasia like always knows like the next piece of my exploration of like where I'm going. Like she always like says the thing that I've been feeling but have been too afraid to go and explore. And like we were at the hair salon the other day, and like she was like, yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago, right? I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And I'm getting my hair cut. She could kind of see in my face that like I just like wasn't really liking the hairstyle. And she looked at me and she was just like, she told the salon person, she was like, cut it shorter. He wants it shorter. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I just like love it so much more. And you know, yeah, like I think that's like the beauty of like your union too. Like you can explore together. And like I even told you, what did I tell you?
You told me something. I don't
remember what it was, but I told you the other day something about like your makeup or whatever, and then you had made a change to it, and I was like, oh yeah, it looks so much better or whatever. But yeah, it's being able to see each other for who you truly are, your authentic self, and helping each other to explore that and go deeper there. And you're not alone in that, and that's really cool to have that in your union.
I like every time someone says exploration, I'm nodding to it. I feel like the same way. Since I was like 18, it's one of the ages I've been recalling a lot. And I explored like different hairstyles, makeup, no makeup. And it's really nice to start finding your own flavor, like your own self-expression. So I like that this sermon touched upon 3 or 4 key words. And we love the foundation job, by the way, Alice. Because like it is true, as you discover yourself, as you embark on this journey and you start finding your own self-expression and what you like, what resonates with you and what not, you're building that foundation. And like that inner confidence, how you like to express yourself in all these areas, but also through your beauty. So I'm like, I was also like, when I hear Michaela, I was like, oh, I had a block towards my beauty as well. And I started like a lot of images of my past kind of like came up. How I will dress like super elegant, like I always like that. I always worked in offices, but I really put a lot of effort into it. I really enjoy the process of waking up early in the morning, just like picking the earrings. Not so much the makeup. I'm still like, maybe that's not too much for me. But recently exploring lipstick, for instance, I haven't done lipstick in my whole life. And I put on a shade and was like, oh, I love this. What else can I get? Like, ooh, purple. And like, oh, this is like nice. And so like building up from that, and even like Chrissy recently also shared like she's been healing around like wearing makeup and like pampering herself in her beauty in that way. And like I cannot speak from the male perspective because I'm still not in union like physically with my twin flame, so I don't know what this exploration journey looks to him. But I was kind of feeling into how it was presented within my family, for instance. And most women in my family were wearing makeup because most of them were expected to. It was kind of like concealing that self-expression instead of them finding their own like music or like tune into it. The only one who didn't wear as much was my mom, and was like, she will wear as bare minimum as possible, and she will still be and look very beautiful. And so I think like that's okay. Like just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you have to wear makeup. You can just be your natural self. I'm not wearing any makeup, for instance, whatsoever.
Yet I thought that you were.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. I was about to bring it up. Like Ray was, oh, Deb, you look so nice. Are you wearing makeup? Before like getting into this like meeting, and I was like, no, I'm actually wearing none. I really didn't touch anything.
Deb,
And yet,
hashtag no foundation.
no foundation. Well, you have foundation with God. It doesn't mean you have to have foundation with makeup. Touche. But now, like, yeah, it's really nice being on this journey and like discovering yourself and really allow to see like what rings your bell, like what really is for you. And like that's okay. And if you find something that you don't like, you don't have to stick to it. But yeah, it's like foundation. Another one that was very nice that I like was when Dennis was doing the reading, and I thought it was perfect. Like seeing the power in beauty and seeing the beauty in power, and like how, like I don't know, I really like that. So I think it's something very interesting to read about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you are like in that space where you are truly yourself and you allow your beauty to shine, you are powerful in this space, and it's safe to claim your power even in having this exploration, right? I feel like many of us have felt maybe censored in some way in going and exploring our divine beauty, because I think like what's really like struck to me from what Jose and Michaela said is like each and every one of us is unique, and even like maybe us as twin flames, we express our beauty in a different way. Him as a divine masculine and me as a divine feminine. And even for us, like we have to go on our own journey. And I feel like, like society has put like, okay, this is beautiful, this is not beautiful, and you have to follow that, right? And I think like because of that, we have kind of censored ourselves in like exploring that fully and completely. And maybe we have like, I know like for me, as I was healing about this and I'm still healing about this, I have like maybe unworthiness and maybe like a sense of like hopelessness. Like why would I start now to like go on this journey? It feels like so long, but it's safe to like take this journey and discover your inner beauty like with God, because it's already within you, and all that you have to do is just allow it to shine. Allow yourself to shine your beauty in whichever way you feel called to. And it's okay as well, in the process of like exploration, it's okay if like you do something and it's not quite it, like I feel like it's okay to just go in a space and where you're like, for a week, I'm just gonna wear blue makeup and see where it is, and I'm gonna wear like blue makeup all the time. I'm gonna be like an avatar, I'm gonna alien myself up like with blue skin and everything. Maybe I just need to go there, right? Then afterwards, like I like the color of my skin. I'm comfortable with how it looks right now. It's okay. It's okay to like, just go to these things and have I feel like, like these kind of teenager phases where you just go through stuff just to see how it is. And it's safe to kind of be a teenager in this sense, to just explore, see what it is, and not be afraid to like go there,
It can be really fun. You made me like remember my colorful wigs, how like short hair. I had like one white, another one was fuchsia, another one was like brilliant purple. And I love wearing these, especially when I went to a party or something. Like I always want to like stay classy, but kind of have a bunch of fun and a little twist there. So I was like, I'm missing them a little bit now. Maybe I should not dye my hair because it requires a lot of maintenance and I don't have the patience for that. So this is, for instance, something that I discovered. I play a lot with my hair, especially when I was a teenager, as you were saying. And I think that taking the upsets of the stage aside, like recalling that particular time of your life where you really were exploring everything. At least I remember I was. I felt like I was at a buffet, like live buffet, and I tried anything and everything. And it was sometimes not so much fun, but most of the time it was. It's like, oh, okay, I like this. You stay over there. But and then like combining stuff as well, like different styles, like dressing styles, maybe like wearing everything black and have people staring at you. I always love provoking people doing that. And I was like 18, like I would wear everything black, and I loved it. And I love provoking people's like looks on defying what they thought beauty was.
Yeah.
Because you could still be very classy about it. It didn't have to be like over the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's meant to be fun. Like it's meant to be, as you say, an exploration. We are children of God. We are supposed to have fun on this journey with every single aspect that we are tapping into. It's just beauty, but this is today's topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would like to share another aspect of beauty that I really enjoy with Alexandra is like even how she talked, just Alexandra talked before, like I know for me, I found it so beautiful. Like this is an expression of her divine beauty. And like I really feel the confidence with which she speaks and just the love that she shares. And I always find it very beautiful. And I'm just like always falling in love with her talking and just sharing what she has in her heart. And yeah, I feel like this is another part of divine beauty.
It's just full expression.
She has a very endearing sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that's beautiful. Like Lorenzo, like that's something I think a lot of people are coming to understand deeper about like romance. And it's like, Alexandra was just being herself, right? And that was what attracted you. That was what, just made your heart flutter. And like that's what like her beauty was her just being herself, being confident, silly, whatever. And like I think that when we all just like kind of go into exploring our beauty, recognizing that it's not always the things on the outside that's the exploration. It's about the feelings or the things that we've that we how we are on the inside. And yeah, I think the best way to explore that too is just like mere exercise and feeling your feelings, right? And like allowing yourself to go to those places and those that where you don't feel like yourself, where you're not accepting yourself, and accept yourself there. Because sometimes the thing that someone else that you think someone is judging or thinks is silly or whatever is actually the thing that makes you you and makes you beautiful. So, yeah.
Exactly. And I like what you said about, in order to go deeper with beauty, you really have to heal in those spaces so you can actually see. Because if there are still blocks to it, you're not going to be able to actually see it or receive that divine beauty. And this is key element of divine beauty. It's healing and loving yourself in that space so you can receive and see that beauty.
Go deeper with that beauty. And I just want to share like something that Stephanie said in the comments about like what Deb was saying. So Stephanie said, maybe a message from yourself, Deb, that it's safe to define beauty standards for yourself, and even deeper that you have already. So it's safe to like go deeper. And I think, my guess, as we will, go deeper in our self-expression, we will defy a lot of beauty standards or what is considered beauty, because as I said, we're all unique. So therefore there's no such thing as a beauty standard in heaven, because everybody is already beautiful the way that they were created. You're just being themselves.
She's doing it again. She's being
How do you feel about that, Deb?
I love it. To be honest, it reminded me of a comment that I made very recently in one of the team group chats. Was like triggering people and raising my cup since 1983. Like, and this is something that I've been in my own journey, been really getting clear and tapping and going deeper with. It's like releasing what my self-expression may cause on someone around me. Like, again, like releasing.
Can I stop you for a second just to help you express this better? Rather than you triggering people, you showing the people their true self by you being your true self.
Like waking them up a little bit.
Yes, exactly. That's a better way to say than like, I want to trigger people. I want to go out and trigger people.
No, but I'm very much used to the slang of the inner work and like stuff like that. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. If you're right. So
just help people awaken through through divine beauty by you showing that.
Exactly. And again, like we have the perfect role model as well. I remember like Jeff does the same in his own unique and masculine way. And Shaleia does her own part. Like maybe she's like more feminine, more nurturing, and Jeff is more like pow. But that's his true self. As well as I can see, for instance, a lot of playfulness between you and Lau. And you come from this funny, like giggly, playful place, and like that suits you. That's how God created you. One of the aspects of your own self-expression. And so it's like really wonderful to start knowing yourself in that deep level without all the layers that have been placed by the people around you, society. Like you get to sing your own song. Like, and that's, I think that as a unionist, that's the most interesting and wonderful thing about this journey. It's like really finding your own voice, your own unique expression. Because if God wanted everyone like be the same, it would get boring. Right? This is a nice example, a nice exercise that we can all do. Just picture you being exactly the same as everyone else. What a boring place that would be. Now it's already
thanks.
It's like, nope, not even worth my time picturing that. That's not fun at all. And how we complement each other in this uniqueness. So I love that Stephanie always like throws me a nice curveball in this stuff. So thank you, Steph. But yeah, I don't know, it's just like, let it be fun and easy.
I wanted to, and I noticed when Lau said, like, look, see, she's being beautiful again. And I realized, I was like, well, in that moment, you were like really loving just like the God that was coming through her, because she was just channeling God, right? And you know, I've had a lot of clients recently with this, have this come up where they're like, you know, oh, I don't feel beautiful or things like that. And the one thing that like that keeps like coming up for me is that I like have been sharing is like, do you choose to just see yourself through God's eyes? And to see that like God created you. So, you know, and Jeff said this before, like God doesn't create uggos. He said that in the New York City, I think, one.
That's funny.
I laughed about that. That's funny. Yeah, he only creates beautiful masterpieces, right? And like, how dare you like question the beauty of his masterpiece, right? And yeah, like that's the thing that everyone is most attracted to you, is when you are like expressing like your God, right? God's expressing himself through you, right? That's what that authenticity is. And yeah, so like, you know, seeing yourself through God's eyes, seeing that like yourself, your divine self is perfect, right? Because God created you.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that, like, I remember Shaleia in class talked about how she like just does her makeup with God.
Aww.
And like, you know, he'll tell her what colors to put on or what like lipstick to put on.
That's so
and
beautiful.
yeah, it was really cute. Wednesday 7 p.m. y'all. I'm sure she talked about it more than once, but
yeah, I love that, because like basic, and that's like really, that's what it is. Like she was expressing herself as God desired, right? And her desire was God's desire, right? And so
yeah, and
there's
I
something
remember
to
what
that.
lipstick she was wearing that day too. Like that's how like good it was.
Wow.
She was wearing
Yeah.
Dirty Money.
Oh. That's funny. That's funny.
I told ya.
There's a lesson in that. Look at that. But yeah, like it's just cool, right? Like yeah, to just be present with God, and that's like where you can find like your true beauty. That's where like you end up seeing the beauty that you've had all along, right? It's not something that like you go and get. It's something that God continues to show you.
It's something that you receive. I think was like the
Yes.
keyword that you were looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, because you again, like you brought me back to those mornings when I was getting ready for like going to work, and I swear I never liked waking up early, never in my life. But when I knew I had like, ooh, I get to look at my wardrobe and see how I want to combine what I have, and like, what earrings do I want to wear? What perfume do I want to use? Oh, it was so like, I felt so loved, and I was doing this without even knowing this work. So like merging those two would be fantastic. And start from wherever you are, like whatever you are. And if you can only explore, like for instance, makeup by kind of like sneaking into your mom's bedroom and taking, do it. I did that when I was a teenager. I was like, sneak when she wasn't around. I was like, oh, I want to play with lipstick. I was like, this is not really me. And I would like leave it away. And when I came back to that, what, like 1 or 2 years ago, the first lipstick I ever bought was God guided me. I would never think of a vibrant pink. And I was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, it's gonna suit you. And I remember taking a picture and posting it on Facebook, and everyone was loving it. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like this. Yummy. Okay, let's keep exploring this. And I think that, yeah, I don't know. For me, it has to be fun. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
And I like that you touched upon the fun part. I feel like, yeah, divine beauty can express it in so many ways, and it's all about being fun. Because even if you look on movies, or like whenever you look at someone having fun, they're usually at their most beautiful self, no matter what they're doing, no matter what's happening in the scenario. It's very beautiful to watch someone who has fun. So I feel like fun is a big piece in divine beauty. And even if someone just, I don't know, plays video games, they can have a beautiful expression in just playing video games, or they can have a beautiful expression of their divine beauty in music, on how they sing, their voice, or just how they speak in general, how Alexander was demonstrating.
Yeah, I think, like when you're kind of relating it to your like life purpose, and you allow yourself to have fun by living your life purpose, you're automatically be filled, like with God, and that God is going to shine through in a very beautiful way that's specific for you. And on this, Michaela shared like a really good thing in the comments that I felt to share as well. She said, I remember Shaleia once said in a class that what helps is to let go of how you think you should look and embrace how God wants you to look. And yeah, I think like this is perfect.
Yeah, like, how do you say this expression? Like when you hit the nail in the head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And it really suits like how you share like about your experience there with that very pink lipstick, right? You yourself wouldn't have thought about maybe wearing that, but when God guided you to it, it was like, oh, actually this is a good experience.
You always end up being pleasantly surprised when you follow the guidance, and you're just like, even if you are doing it from a little doubtful voice, it's like, are you sure? I'm gonna give it a try though, but are you sure? And then it's like 3 times better than you can possibly imagine it.
Yeah, it's only
like
the doubt and the criticize that stops you from actually doing it. And when you actually do it and kind of don't care about what everyone else would say, you just have fun and feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And apart from that, who knows you better than the one who created you?
Mm.
Like how many times we've have like Jeff saying, you don't really know yourself as deeply as your own creator, and he's been really reinforcing this lately. Of you don't really choose anything; you're presented with options, and you just say yes or no to them. So I don't know. I really certainly look forward to exploring this a little bit more, and even going through the exercise. I've never done it. I've never really actually asked God what the purpose of my beauty was. So I'm kind of like, I want to know now.
Nice.
I'm curious. I'm like curious George.
Well, I think if you look back on our discussion, like God, I think I gave you like a lot of hints around what that might be. But maybe you can do like the card exercise and see what's coming up for you. I think that would be interesting.
What was yours, Alexander? The purpose of your divine beauty?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm feeling it a bit more.
So you don't want to share what we got from the card that we
did like the card exercise, and like for me, I got the card. We used like the Saints and Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and I got the card which said pause, and I was like, interesting. And it was kind of like a lady that was kind of like holding some flowers, and she was kind of like I don't know how to do. She was staying like in a very like relaxed position, right? And she was holding some flowers, and I looked at that, and I read like the description of the card, and like it was very interesting because the card was like like talking about like you don't have to push yourself. Like sometimes you really have to take a step back and assess the situation and move forward, right? So you like how to like better prepare for like what's ahead of you instead of just kind of plowing your head through like challenges and obstacles that come ahead. And for me it was like, wow, that's really wise. That's really wise to know like when to stop, when to like go forward, when to like do all of these things in your life. And I felt, you know, from that interaction, like what attracted me the most was like that wisdom, you know, and I felt like maybe like the purpose of my beauty is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm exploring and deepening into right now.
It was beautiful to see when we worked through that, because I know you were very emotional when we spoke about this, because she couldn't, at first, she had a bit of trouble accepting it, but now she's moving deeper and deeper into that. Because that's what it feels very attractive to me when she speaks, because it feels like she has a lot of wisdom in her words. And it's very beautiful to hear, you know, that wisdom. Yeah. And for me, I know that for me, I got, I'm just going to say directly, honesty. The purpose of my beauty is honesty. And yeah, I kind of looked at myself like,
Honesty is brutally honest sometimes.
Yeah. So.
And they're perfectly complementary.
I haven't thought about that.
So it's
Wisdom
success
and
and transformation, I think.
Success and transformation are, yeah. Yeah, because it's always complementary. Because even Jeff and Shalea's, I forget what she said that there were, but I remember theirs being extremely complimentary, and Jay and Chrissy the same. So yeah.
I think I remember something that Jeff was truth, and or Shalia, I don't remember. You remember?
Maybe peace. I'm not sure. Michaela, you're in the comments. Please save us. Michaela in the comments, please. I'm looking at the comments right now. So
Michaela.
So yeah.
Did Jose say what his was? Because I don't remember.
Well, I remember Jason and Chrissy's.
What is Jason and Chrissy's? Yeah.
Peace and innocence.
Oh, so Jason's is peace.
Yeah.
Deep peace.
Deep peace. And Chrissy's, that's interesting, because you know why that makes a lot of sense with Jason, because he's extremely grounded. And on the outside, it can sometimes seem like he's not spiritual or something like that.
He has more tattoos than someone from like the All Blacks, for instance. You wouldn't believe, like you wouldn't put those two together. Deep peace and someone who is like that self-expression as well. I get it because I love tattoos as well. I still like been exploring that, and I have my share of tattoos. And you wouldn't put spirituality and tattoos together. Thank God we are in the 21st century, though. But yeah, the only one who has tattoos and is spiritual is Avatar, referencing like an anime. I know that Lau and Alex know this one.
Yep.
But as you say, Ray, like
you mean like the airbenders with their arrows?
Yeah, exactly. But you see Jason, and he's one of the most grounded people I know. And like Chrissy is a boss, but she also has like this lightness to it. And so it's as you were saying, Ray, and I hand you over so you can finish your idea.
To share that we got like the answers from the comments.
Oh, yes, tell us.
Shaleia is healing, obviously.
Shaleia is healing. Makes sense.
Thank you, Michaela and Fabian.
Well, and it's funny because like that's also their purpose, right? Jeff shared the truth, Shaleia to cultivate deeper healing amongst the whole planet, right? Like she brought the healing to Jeff, and Jeff then took that, and then they together shared with the world the truth and the healing to come to the truth, right? So it's like something to the fact that like your beauty even like points you towards your purpose. And that, I mean, that's the whole point too, is that like when you're doing it, that's when you're the most beautiful, right? And so like it makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, truth is healing.
And the truth is healing, kind of like
right. That too, exactly. Mr. Honesty. Drop some wisdom.
Unless we're playing Among Us.
Hey, I'm very honest there. I desire to win there, so I'm honest about what I desire.
But that's okay. I think honesty goes a long way. Problem is we haven't cultivated a deep tolerance to it, as like in society in general, like culturally, or for instance, where I come from, honesty is not very much appreciated. Like, you're scratching on something I don't really want to see there. But again, like truth, honesty, they are very much entwined, and truth will set you free. So honesty is like I don't know if to share this. It's very funny. I've been tapping into what it's like to date a German guy because, of course, like uh, the twin flame journey has shown me that maybe this is where my twin flame comes from, and honesty is one like core values of the German culture. Not to mention that I have like family roots there, and I was like that. I'd rather have someone telling me the honest truth than like covering it up. So you can like so embrace your honesty now.
I think
Okay.
like we
Divine
we
gift.
got clear as well that it's it's okay to have like kind of like the divine honesty, because the moment like we started to explore like wisdom and honesty, for us we could see like we could fall like in a pits of like ego with this kind of beauty. So for example, with me, like with wisdom, I could see how I could easily become like arrogant, you know, like, oh, I know it better than you, right? So that's like arrogance, you know. So this is kind of how we see like we have to have the true divine meaning of that purpose.
I mean, to really
And
heal those
surrender that.
places where we try to control how the, the wisdom and the honesty look, because that's something that we've been used all our lives to just not know how the divine way looks. So we'll have to explore, and then when we find places where we try to control how it looks, that's where we just have to love ourselves.
You gotta have the proper foundation.
Exactly.
Which is this. I'm so gonna troll you with this one.
Thank you. Have you wanted to say something? Reading a comment?
Oh, I was unmuted. I was waiting to be muted. Yeah, I wanted to just like share from like the comments. Leanne shared that the purpose of her divine beauty is authenticity, and she's going deeper into that since she knows it. Michaela also shared that yes, and Shaleia always has such a nurturing way of healing that complements how Jeff teaches perfectly. So that's we were going deeper there. And Granville also shared that mine is to inspire thoughtfulness and surrender to the divine truth and demonstrating the warmth and fun of knowledge. Beautiful. So I like to see that people are kind of exploring this more and more. And yeah, maybe in the comments, you know, you can even here on YouTube, whatever you're watching, you can like share what this exploration has brought to you, or even in the unionist discussion group, maybe later, if you like spend some time with this topic, we would really love to like hear from you. What was the healing that you've done regarding this topic, and see like what do you feel like your purpose of divine beauty is, and how does this maybe like complement with your twin flame if you know who they are, if you are in union, harmonious union. Yeah, just like explore this and yeah, share it with us in the proper means. Good. Yeah, I know this sounded kind of like a conclusion. I didn't meant to be like a conclusion, but yeah, if anybody else, I think like Gray, you wanted to share something more?
Yeah, I guess just that as you go deeper in exploring kind of like what that is for you, you know, I think that your divine beauty, and correct me if I'm wrong for you guys, like if your experiences as well, my experience has been like it's always shown up like my whole life, like where I know for me, like with success, like I'd always like help someone with like their career or with their finances, and then they'd have success and they were like, whoa, and they would be like, thanks, Ray, and like or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, it feels so good. And You know, like even like with Alexandra, like how we all are just like, ooh, every time she talks about something, and right, like, so like I feel like you know, as you go deeper in exploring that, it's gonna be like something that you're gonna realize, wow, that's been there all along. And I think that's like the other last thing that I kind of wanted to leave everyone with is like, you always have your beauty. It's not something that like you're earning or you're finding per se. It's really, you're just kind of like taking off the glasses or whatever, or like the wool or the veil, to seeing the truth of what your divine beauty is and that you have it already. And just like,
Cultivating it.
yeah, exactly. Expanding that into, you know, having that in all areas of your life. And yeah, I just wanted to share that as the last piece, at least from me.
I totally agree with that, because I can see, like, for me, with honesty, I can see it my whole life, but I didn't have the most pleasant experience always with with but I learned to be more comfortable and safe, and with the power of the healing of Jeff and Shia really helped me to feel very safe in just being myself.
This is why it's really important to like just accept yourself where you are, because you're probably living from that space already. You just have to like kind of see it fully. And this is something that you know, we did like a little so since it's Valentine's Day, you know, and we knew that we're gonna be live, you know, we knew that we wouldn't be able to like go on a date or do something because our day is kind
Schedule.
of busy, you know, because that's just how it happened to be. Right. So we said like we're gonna have our Valentine's Day on Friday. So we said it's gonna be like our date day. We blocked our calendar. We didn't like we had nothing scheduled, right? And we were like, okay, let's just romance, you know, do something together. And it was funny because our day looked pretty much the same as every other day. It was like we didn't felt like super cold to like go out or do anything. We did like some special things, but I think like from just this having this date day, we realized that, oh, we actually have the romance that we desire in every day of our life, and we don't need to like, you know, it was already there.
Yeah,
And
it
this
was.
is something that you'll discover with your beauty as well, as Ray shared, and I loved it. Good. So any closing thoughts from you, Deb?
Not really. Ray pretty much said it all. I think like the key word was rediscovering, as he was saying. That your inner beauty has been there all along. You were pretty much either blindsided, like blindsided to it, or you were like experiencing a lot of push against from like the people around you, and just gotta build that confidence back up, because you are who you are. You cannot be anyone else. Trying to do so, it's not fun at all. We all know that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So, no, it's like pretty much it. I'll take away.
Yeah. Well, then we can like close this discussion. Thank you very much, everybody, and I hope that you will go deeper with your own divine beauty, and you'll be encouraged to choose to have a beautiful life in all areas of your life, whether it is like your physical beauty, your home, your relationships, in every area of your life. You deserve to have this beauty, and it's safe to claim it and embrace it and see it for what it really is. And yeah, with that, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.